I am continuing my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around a little bit as I move along. But right now we are reading about the dedicatory ceremony of the Temple of Solomon. In 1 Kings chapter 8, we have read the introduction, the opening ceremonies, Solomon's first remarks to Israel, and the dedicatory prayer. This has also been covered in chapters 5 and 6 of 2 Chronicles. I'm now going back to 1 Kings chapter 8, and we're going to finish this out, but we only have a few verses left. This won't take too long. Let us see what we have to say here to finish out chapter 8. We begin in verse 62. And the king and all Israel with him offered sacrifice before the Lord. And Solomon offered a sacrifice of peace offerings, which he offered unto the Lord, 22,000 oxen, and 120,000 sheep. So the king and all the children of Israel dedicated the house of the Lord. The same day did the king hallow the middle of the court that was before the house of the Lord, for there he offered burnt offerings and meat offerings, and the fat of the peace offerings, because the brazen altar that was before the Lord was too little to receive the burnt offerings and meat offerings, and the fat of the peace offerings. And at that time Solomon held a feast, and all Israel with him, a great congregation, from the entering in of Hamath unto the river of Egypt, before the Lord our God, 7 days and 7 days, even 14 days. On the 8th day he sent the people away, and they blessed the king, and went unto their tents joyful and glad of heart for all the goodness that the Lord had done for David his servant, and for Israel his people. How much of that is accurate? 100,000 sheep and 22,000 oxen being sacrificed. You can bet they did not have enough room or time to sacrifice that many animals in the temple itself, which is why it says the outer court. He built the temple, and he had the court of the temple, but then there was an outer court that wasn't part of the temple complex. And it was in this outer court that they did most of these sacrifices, because they just didn't have space or time to do them all in the temple. But 14-day celebration. 7 days celebrating and feasting in Jerusalem. And this was all the leaders of Israel, the heads of the tribes came in. Probably every town sent a representative. And then after that, he sent them all home, and they had local celebrations in their own tribes and in their own cities to celebrate the temple. It's today we do temple dedications that last a couple of days, a 2-week celebration, because this was their first temple, and likely the only temple that, I don't know, there's some hint that there were other temples built, but I'm not going to get into that right now. I like this celebration. This is a good celebration. But there's not much to say about it, so I'm going to leave that here, and I will see you in my next video, which will be 2 Chronicles chapter 7. See you there.